Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome back to another video. My name is Dante, aka Dante DeFi, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. 2025 is here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about my portfolio going into 2025. We have done several videos over the last couple years talking about my portfolio, what I'm doing in the markets. We've been through so many ups, so many downs. I know on YouTube I haven't posted as much as on X. We're basically updating you guys on every single play I make on X on a daily basis, so you should definitely check me out there. But in 2025, I do want to be more consistent, posting my transparent reflections on the market and exactly what I'm doing, because I think this is going to be a pivotal year. 2024 was personally one of the best years I've had in crypto, actually the best year I've had in crypto. And the main reason is because I learned how to click the sell button. Now, looking back and reflecting on 2024, I can see that, I could have just held all of my positions and done fine. But the point is, and the thing that I'm going to harp on and always talk about on this channel is, when the sun is shining, you got to make hay. And 2025 might be one of those years that you're going to want to make hay because the sun is going to shine real bright. And then potentially we're going to see some pain. So that being said, I want to talk about everything and update you guys on everything regarding my portfolio. The first one on the list is Caspa. I want to give you updates on Caspa because I have reduced pretty much 90% of my bag in Caspa, and that's crazy to say. I also did very well and got in early 2023 to the point where it's already done a lot for me and made me money. So again, yes, I have reduced my exposure, but that is because I do believe that we're coming closer to the end of a cycle where the opportunity cost of holding something, even if it is fundamentally sound, is greater, because there's narratives that are coming in and out and picking up steam very quickly that aren't going to be, green forever, and they're not just going to go up forever. So you got to have to kind of capitalize. And I am not really putting more capital into any of my projects right now. I'm just working with the current capital I have invested in the market. And yeah, I can tell you that Caspa was a significant portion of my portfolio, and I have reduced it. Even if I believe in something, and even if technically speaking there's everything lined up for this thing to do good, it doesn't mean the market is going to agree with you and that the market is going to come to the same conclusion. A lot about crypto and a lot about trading, and I think life in general, is that you're going to learn lessons, and you're going to learn them again, and you're going to learn them again, and you're going to have to keep remembering and reminding yourself when you learn those lessons to take action and not make the same mistakes again. And with Caspa, I still hold a large bag and I'm so bullish on it, but I'm not going to put a significant amount in there, and that's all I can really say. I think there's momentum in other projects, and I'll discuss that with the other things that I have in my portfolio. But Caspa, there's not much to say. I hold a bag, and it's under 10% of my portfolio. Now I'm even being as transparent as to give you a percentage, but I don't necessarily think it's going to outperform the rest of the market the way it's trending. And we're going to talk about what I think is going to outperform. Bittensor, Tau. So obviously, if you are in the space, you know how big AI agents and virtuals protocol and the whole narrative around AI has totally, exploded. We have been talking about this for several years at this point now. Several years meaning probably since the end of 2022 with Bittensor, when we found Bittensor at around $60. And the whole idea of integrating AI and blockchain as the killer use case that could, transform the way crypto is used and blockchains are used as a whole. Because all a blockchain is a ledger on the internet that can provide a space for an internet economy. And that's what's occurring in real time. Now, the killer use case being when artificial intelligence gets involved and starts really, really using, blockchains. That means that we don't even need humans to continue and keep the internet economy going. It's going to be run by artificial intelligence. And the AI agent space is kind of awakening a lot of people to what is going on with AI and the potential, and like I said, the killer use case between AI and blockchain. So now that a lot of people are waking up to it, I think this narrative is really going to pick up. And if we do see a continued bull run into the end of 2025, it makes no sense to have an allocation that's not a majority position in AI. And Bittensor is one that I am very allocated to. I missed virtuals in terms of I saw it at 10 cents. It started exploding. I was waiting for a pullback and it never occurred. I still think virtuals is great. Holding some virtuals would be amazing. But instead of holding virtuals, I did get in earlier and pretty early into AIXBT. Early meaning under 20 cents. There's people who got in and have done 1000x on this thing. So am I early by that standard? Absolutely not. I just think that in terms of mindshare and market cap, if we're looking at this as a meme coin, this does a lot more than most of these, just static memes that ran to $5-10 billion at the height of the meme coin, mania. And so I think if you look at this as basically an AI meme coin that actually has some utility to it, because AIXBT has development that is going on and has utility to it, I think that this can easily run higher. And so instead of owning virtuals, my thesis here is I'm going to own the leading protocol on virtuals, the leading coin on virtuals. And by that measure, if you look at meme coins, holding the major meme coins would have done amazing. Pepe is one that I don't regret, but I've learned a big lesson from, where I thought I was late to Pepe in like 2022 or 2020, end of 2022, right after the Binance listing. And it literally did like 100x from there. So I'm looking at AIXBT as potentially another Pepe-like investment, where it's like, maybe this thing just keeps going up as the market rips higher. And as this AI agents, AIX blockchain narrative continues to grow, and the only thing we had to do was just hold some of the majors. So that's how I'm looking at this. And I do have a good portion of my portfolio now allocated to AIXBT. And that's mainly because it has outperformed and gone like 4x since I bought it. While things like Caspa have done nothing. And Tau, even though Tau, I'm a strong believer in Tau, it hasn't broken all-time highs yet. So I'm allocated to the AI space, and I'm really bullish on it. And so the final major pick that I have for you, and this is not at all special or, under the radar. Everyone's been talking about SWI. I got into SWI in the $2 and $3 range, not even good entries on this thing. Considering that, we've known about it and everyone's known about this thing since it was under $1. The thing here is that it has shown so much strength in the market. It's at a $50 billion total fully diluted valuation that it is kind of insane. But the market is showing its hand. It continues to grow, continues to go up in price. So again, like I said, when I compare SWI and AIXBT to the likes of like Caspa, which is again like one that I really like, they are bigger percentages in my portfolio now just because of how well they've performed in the last couple of months versus Caspa that really hasn't done anything. And I know I for all of you Caspa lovers, guys, I am a big fan of Caspa. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm hating on Caspa, but I'm just, simply from the perspective of I don't know how much time we have left in this cycle, and the longer this, the longer we get into 2025, the riskier it becomes to hold these things, and the more selling we need to do. I have to kind of shift perspectives and shift my attention elsewhere to where the money can be made. And SWI has been an amazing hold. It's done very well. Outside of these three, I really don't hold any other crazy, projects that could bring you a lot of alpha. I bought Morpho under $1.50, and it's doing very well. I think it's almost at $3.50. It's almost done a 2x since we bought in. And if you look at that chart, it looks really good. But again, there's no saying that this thing doesn't curl over and doesn't do much from here. But I think having some exposure to the base ecosystem, base DeFi is a no-brainer. If you've been on this channel, that we talked about Arrow, at 19 cents. And again, Arrow is one of those projects that every influencer, took credit for because it was such an obvious play, guys. And yeah, I think Arrow, it is diluted a lot because of the way that the flywheel works with Arrow. So if you look at price versus market cap is going up. Price is following, but not at a pace that you would like. So it's like, that's maybe something to be concerned about. But in reality, it's such a solid play. So I think having some allocation to the base DeFi ecosystem, we were talking about, base season occurring at the start of this or at the start of last year. And I think we're now in that space where, base season is occurring. Like you can see that there's definitely been a shift in capital and momentum. And I'm happy that we were early to that. But I don't necessarily think we're that early anymore. Maybe there's more capital to come in the long term. Yes, for sure. We're early. But that doesn't mean that there's not going to be huge ups and downs in terms of volatility before we really see like a steady curve to the up and to the right, So Arrow, Morpho, those are ones, honorable mentions, I guess you can say. I think having, and then Moonwell, another one in the base DeFi ecosystem that potentially you can hold and see some returns. But I think overall, an overarching theme here, it's potentially going to be more of a game of when to sell rather than what we should be buying right now. That is my main portfolio lands in SWI, bittensor, AI agents, so that's AIXBT and some other plays. And again, on Twitter is where I talk about the more degen stuff because it's riskier, and it's also like I might get into something and then get out of it in a day or two if I change my mind, and it's hard to update obviously on YouTube every single time I do something like that. So Ethereum, I also still hold a large percentage of my portfolio in Ethereum. I think it hasn't done the best, but it's a blue chip in the crypto space, and I can't imagine that it's not going to go to all-time highs sometime in 2025 or at some time in the future. So yeah, I think overall my approach has become very less risk on. I think I've become more conservative the longer I've been in the space. And so yeah, none of my picks are really groundbreaking, early under 5 million market cap, these crazy like ones that will potentially go 10 to 100x. But the longer I've been in the space, the more I realize like chasing those, is not always going to be the largest benefit to you as a person or your mental health or in terms of your longevity in crypto. So a lot of my picks are pretty basic. One of my biggest wins from 2024 was MicroStrategy stock, which is basically just a derivative of Bitcoin. And yeah, that was the first and only thing that I wanted to be allocated to midway through 2024 when the market was getting crushed in altcoins, was like MicroStrategy, which honestly is not alpha. It's not something that's under the radar at this point. But that being said, you got to take into account everything that's going on in the world, everything that's going on that could potentially hurt the economy. I don't see a lot of disposable income just being readily available to the average Joe in today's world. And that is why it kind of concerns me, that crypto is kind of a little bit of a bubble where there are people who, just, may have money, have made money or are in a privileged position that just think that, this thing can go on forever. But that being said, guys, I always want to be as transparent with you as possible, whether it hurts me or not, because obviously if I'm as transparent as possible, you're going to know everything I'm doing in the crypto space, whether it works out or not. And yeah, we're going to document this journey through 2025. I'm going to be more consistent with the YouTube uploads because I know 2024, I honestly, guys, was enjoying not having to look at the markets every single day. And like I said, it was my best year in crypto because I actually learned how to click the sell button. So there's a lesson in there, but that doesn't mean, G'd all your bags right now because I said that. Anyway, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. If you're still watching, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to let me know you're still alive and you're still in the game. We've been in this game now for like 5 years, going on 5 years now. 2025 it's insane that we're here. And I'm just happy to be here and still be able to make content and still be able to be in the space and be positive about where it's going. And clearly a lot of the things we've been talking about over the last 5 years are playing out right before our very own eyes. And so it is a little gratifying. It is a little reassuring that we're not crazy and maybe the world just needs to catch up to the great big ideas we have, right? So appreciate you being here. Love you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.